He's got a big match up against the big man. Can Sean Ashe find his first Ultimate Pool Pro win? If he does, we're going to a 6-red shootout. If he can't, that man right there is through to the last 16. Here we go then. Here comes the ball. Head first into this pack.
Big opening frame really, and it's going to be a first chance to Sean to take pressure off Oly. This only gets mixy if he allows it and doesn't play his best stuff, and you know the match gets away from him. Win the opening frame. Always keep yourself in that. You know, the draw's good, so if you're a frame in front, you're in great position. But nothing you can do if you're not at the table. Not the easiest of chances this for Sean. Right above the 8 ball is a bad one. Not sure. Obviously you can double that ball. Don't think it slides past the 8 ball. Well, I'm not going to find out. It's a poor miss from Sean. The only good news from Sean's perspective is he blocked the yellow, but Oly gets that out, and a little bit awkward. He's on it to bottom right. Good layout on yellows, really. He just wants to work it so that dropping the yellow right centre last, as long as you've not got the slightly off angle to get the red, because you want to really kill it in. So straight would be good, just past straight would be better. Yeah, could have done with another roll or two, or a couple less, as he got. I don't think he can get it off the cushion much. Oh, he did by screwing it back. So he has got just that off angle, but that means he's going to have to either stop it or go on and off the cushion. Yeah, just made the pot a little bit harder, that, but dealt with it really well. This is a really, really good visit to the table for Oly Bale.
Just what he needed.
Goes to celebrate with a couple of supporters he's brought with him here, right in Sean's face, as Sean was sat on the wrong side of the arena. Sean would be really disappointed with that. It was one of the, pretty poor miss by his standards. I know that he's out first night as a professional and all that, but that was going to be a challenging clearance because of the ball at the bottom. But did not expect him to miss the simple ball at the top. Break's warming up. Couldn't get much colder, to be honest. It was as good as he was hitting it. It wasn't working at all. Not a good first shot. Not a good second shot either. Looks a little bit frustrated, does Sean? Not started this match particularly well, and he does have, talked about the ranking points available. He does have, that to play for. victory here gets him third in the group. Okay, it's not much, but when you're a new professional, every ranking point is vital. Worked out very well. The only question now is the 8 ball at the top. I think it still goes top right. Can see enough of the yellow to pot it, it's fine, you can get on the 8 ball, but I don't think he can. It was the shot when he was 3 out, he was just a bit short. Needed to pull back quite a lot further. Tried to turn it in, he couldn't quite see the potting angle.
Yeah, you can see that cue ball still spinning with how much he played it. And this is the new Oly Bale MO.
Yeah, we've not seen this from him in the 4 years with, well, 4 and a bit years now of Ultimate Pool. We've just not seen it.
It's not to say that he's never done it.
No, but he's
whenever
always
he's been on the TV table. It has felt, as you said earlier, that he's tried to put on a show for us, rather than necessarily sometimes do the best thing for Oly Bale.
Yeah, it's almost like, right, I'll show you how good I am. And it's like, well, I understand the mentality, and it is actually not that, to have that mentality of, you want to show off out there, but almost too much. Just play really good pool, and that doesn't always mean go for a clearance or, play the flamboyant. More often than not, the simple is what you want. Keep the game as simple as possible. Be boring. Looking pretty good now, isn't he? 2-0 up, comfort zone. Sean's not really at it in this match.
Oly Bale on the fringes of winning this week's group. Who wins next week's is right in the balance. 4 great players. Last woman standing winner of this last weekend, Megan Proctor, will make her Ultimate Pool Champions League debut. Great prize for winning that event. And then Joe Prince, Simon Fitzsimmons and John Chambers complete a really, really interesting group there.
Yeah, Simon actually the only professional from last year. The only existing professional. First visit chance this time for Oly, and well, not sure if that red goes top left. If it does, great position to make a clearance. If it doesn't, you've got to come down the table, make a really good shot. If it was tight, if it was that tight, did you need to play it? I mean, it was a tough shot down the table, but one you'd expect Oly to make, certainly in the mood he's in. Try and find a finish here and make this interesting at the back end. Ones in the middle of the table are awkward. good shot. Can he avoid the red to get down the table and get onto the next yellow? No, he's just going to play into them. Going into them like that was unlikely to go well. You need to get underneath them, and if you go into them, you're sort of pushing them down to where there's a problem. Does have a shot, thin, and it could deal with the red the red and yellow together, yeah. Chasing, of course, but when you get so deep into a finish, you continue to chase. That should be 3-0. I think Jordan Shepherd's hopes of a 6-red shootout now are fading away.
Yeah, dwindling.
Oly Bale is in cruise control out there. All but there.
All but there. 1 foot in the last 16 for Oly Bale. It's been a brilliant performance from him tonight. It really has.
So it's going to mean that we're going to end up without a top 8 or top 16 player in the last 16 in this section of the draw, doesn't it? See. Well, it'll be top 16. Aaron Davies is in the top 16. Excuse me, Aaron, if you're watching. But without a top 8 player, Aaron is the only seeded player through so far. Assuming, of course, well, we know that because we know Luke Gilbert's already out. So,
Sean Ashe end his night in style, though. He'd like to. Not been his night this evening, but he didn't place too much on this evening's result. It's all about experience and the occasion for him to enjoy it, to get a taste of what this year has in store. He surely can compete.
Yeah, good chance here though to get your first rate clearance as a pro.
Yeah, nice. I do like the click that he plays at. He's played at this pace all night long, really, let alone just this frame where he's a long way behind, short on the clock. Good finish from Sean Ashe. Pleased for him that he's able to get that to take away from this evening, if nothing else. Yeah, acknowledged by Oly, which is nice to see.
He's about as much of a comfort zone as you can be out there, really. No real pressure on him. Take something very silly and incredible from Sean with 6:38 to turn this one around. Remember, he's got to win 3 more frames.
Yeah, the draw sees Oly through. Great break, great break.
Chance to get it done straight away. This is lovely, this layout. This is very nice. There was an argument there. If the 3 yellows in a line, if the right-hand yellow passes the 8 ball comfortably, then I prefer yellows. These 3 reds in the bottom actually were a little bit awkward to connect together and get then up the table, but he's done really well to do that. And he's perfect at the top of the table as well.
Yeah, it's a nice bit of thinking. Didn't need to go up the table, we just need to swing to the side to access this one, and all his work was done. It's a really nice finish.
Oh, not quite. Not quite.
Oh, what a shot to play in this situation.
Is he hitting the yellow full ball? If he's hitting the yellow full ball and kills the cue ball, he'd be fine. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
very nice.
Do. Oly Bale rolls in the 8 ball and rolls into the last 16 of the Ultimate Pool Champions League. What a performance from the Bullet tonight, who came in as an underdog but has played like a favourite. And this Oly Bale will take some stopping this season. A fantastic performance, and it sets the stall out for his 2025 absolutely beautifully. Oly Bale qualifies for the last 16 of the Champions League, and when we come back, we'll break it all down with the man himself. The Bullet roars into the next round. Welcome back, everybody. The Ultimate Pool Champions League Group 3 is concluded, and we have our winner. His name is Oly Bale. He joins us in the studio now. Oly, a big congratulations, mate. We've just been having a bit of a chin wag in the studio before the cameras sort of turned on there, and we all sort of said the same thing, which I think was nice. You said it in your interview right before the start of tonight, that you wanted to sort of show a different side to your game, show us a different side to what we've seen for the last few years, which is some brilliant pool, but then some frustratingly bad pool as well from yourself at times. And you played a great level tonight, and you threw. That must just be such a great source of validation for everything that you set out to do.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's the first time I've got through on the Monday. I've been close a couple of times, but no, I really wanted it tonight. I really felt solid and really focused tonight, and the good thing about it, I had some good support as well.
Yeah, it was a strange one really, because I've seen last time we saw you play, you came here, you played the quickest anybody's ever played, but you put together some great shots, but some crazy shots, and you said, that's the way I'm going to play, that's the way I like to play, and then you've turned up here, 6 weeks later, that's the most all-round performance we've ever seen from you, and that looked dangerous tonight.
Yeah, I don't know, I just really had a couple of good friends. What helped me tonight is these two guys that come up to me, Andy and Nigel Purchase. They come up, I've known them since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And they've always looked up to me as one of a fantastic pool player, and I just really didn't want to let them down tonight and rush around and make mistakes, because they told me they was going to tell me what they thought of me when we get back in the car on the way home.
That's some good words for you, I think.
Yeah, is it one of those, though, that you kind of looked at what was going on? Because it always feels like you want to entertain and you want to show off rather than actually... Everybody knows you've got all those tricks in your armoury. You've got the ability to pull out the magic, but you're at your best when you don't need to pull out the magic.
And to be honest, Simon, that's not getting me any ranking points, is it?
Yeah.
You know, and I think, no disrespect to anybody, but it's down to me being in the rankings where I am, because I've done exactly what you said. But I've got to start working hard and wanting these matches, else I'm wasting my time and my wife's time working hard at the bar and giving me this opportunity to come and play, so at least I owe her and all the people that know me a good effort.
Was there anything that changed, though, in between the last time we saw you play, I think was it the British Open, or whatever the tournament was at the back end of last year, and now? What was there a moment that made you say, do you know what, I'm going to knuckle down and do this differently?
Yeah, Simon, to be honest, at Boxing Day I stopped eating sugar, rubbish, and I'm thinking, well, if Tom's losing loads of weight, Zach Shepard's done really well on losing weight, and I used to play my best pool years ago when I've lost weight. It's not when I was big in it. It's down to the individual, and it's obviously affected me. So for me to play my best pool, I have to look after me first, and then the pool will come.
Heard that from a few players, haven't we? A few players have said the same thing.
Yeah, it's a really interesting one, and I think what was the real turning point in this evening, where it backed up everything that you said, and it backed up everything that sort of we thought off the back of that interview at the start of the show, was the tactical frame against Luke Gilbert, where you started it a million miles behind, and it was the sort of frame where we might have seen in the last couple of years, where you were so far behind that you almost think, well, the only way I can win this is something mad, so I'm going to try it because I've got that, and it might work, but if it doesn't, there's always the next frame. But you really grafted it out, and you outground one of the best players in the world and won a really good frame, and it just it seemed to set the tone for your entire night. You did everything you should do, the break and clearances were there, you broke well, you cleared the ones you should get. That almost feels like standard, but the other stuff was It was solid. It was grounded. It was some good match play.
I think you touched on that was the frame that set me up for the night. That was
Yeah.
a massive
Yeah.
frame because Luke, obviously, quality is, and if he gets in front of you, just finishes for fun. But that was an important frame to go 2-1 up in that match, and I knew it was a big frame. So, I was happy to come out on that frame.
I agree that frame was huge. It was a big moment that kind of, because if Luke gets the win in that, then it changes everything. Obviously, we could all end up, who knows what's going to happen from there. But obviously, you weren't that victory in that frame. It wasn't like he gave it to you in any way. It was all good tactical play. But for me, it felt like it wasn't just there was other moments. Even against Sean there in the last match, I felt like there was a time when Sean missed and you decided to play that one safety shot to bump a bad ball out, knowing that next time round you can't fail. Whereas I think maybe 6 months ago, or even last time we saw you, you might have gone, do you know what, I'm capable of clearing these up anyway, so I'm just going to do it.
And and I think you're right, Simon. I think I've got to look at my strengths, and my strength is not being unhappy. I was unhappy, and I've got to. This is only the start of losing weight. I need to go through and past and keep it off because I yo-yo too much.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, for me to play my best pool at my age against these quality youngsters, I have to try and not turn the clock back, but slow it down a bit.
The thing is, you say slow it down, you're still playing incredibly quickly. This is the thing that I find mad, is that when you played that last tournament, and I keep going back to that last tournament, I have never seen anybody play that quick before, and we were talking about who the quickest players in the world were during that tournament. You played unbelievable. Tonight, you were unbelievably quick, but it didn't look rushed, whereas before it looked rushed.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Simon, this is what I do in practice in my club. My two friends, they turned around and said, look, Oly, you have to play the same speed as you're doing in the club. You're not missing anything. So why are you rushing everything when you get there? So, I just want to say, thanks to Shane Thompson. He put my braking tip on 3 days ago, right? And he said I couldn't get a decent tip, and I went up to Taunton. He put the tip on for me as well, gave it to me. Oh, Shane, fair play to him, and I broke really well tonight. So I just want to get that out there with Shane. Appreciate that,
Yeah, Shane Thompson, the Q fitter.
New career, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, it worked for you beautifully because it was built, we talk about the big difference in playing style, but ultimately you've still got to play some really good stuff to go and win the night. And it was all built on fundamentals, wasn't it? You broke so well this evening. The finish you had it there at the end, the break and run to win the match against Sean, that just felt like the cherry on top of the cake, really. It was a phenomenal break, and you could just easily run out. It's an easy game when it's like that, isn't it?
Yeah, when you're not rushing. But no, I really enjoyed tonight. I really was focused, and I said to Sean a couple of times when he was playing his match, it's his first time he's been on the telly, and I said, just calm down. He's a real nice guy, Sean is. Yeah. And I was having a good old chat with him, relax, and I think he enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, to be honest with you, we're into the 5th year of Ultimate Pool. It feels like you've turned up. Feels like we've seen bits of you, but it feels like you've turned up.
I'm pleased. Thank you, Simon.
Yeah. Although I am still devastated that you didn't dart the last.
Yeah, where's the one-handed shot? We needed at least one-handed shot.
I ran out of position on the last red, didn't I?
Yeah, didn't want to show off after that one. Yeah, fair enough. Well, look, Oly, we're going to let you go. I know it's a long trip back for you, but thanks so much for joining us, and congratulations on a great performance. We'll see you in a little while. Obviously, it's away until we get to the last 16, but best of luck for the rest of the season, I suppose, until we see you next, because it's shaping up to be a good year for you if you keep playing like this.
Well, yes, keep the weight going off and keep happy and see what happens.
Roll on the next event. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Best of luck, Oly. Before we go, though, we are just going to let you know what's coming up for you next week. This is a really, really good group for this. For the right to join Zach Shepherd, Aaron Davies and Oly Bale in the last 16 first group. Megan Proctor, Joe Prince, Cy Fitzsimmons and John Chambers. A brilliant group coming up for you, same time, same place, next week as the Ultimate Pool Champions League continues. From all of us here, it's good night.
Oh my word. Oh my God. Your Champions League winner is Declan Brennan.
Monday Night Pool brought to you by ultimateleloans.co.uk.